So hello everybody, what is going on with you? It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, and it is Sunday, so it must be the Demetra K show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but there's always room for improvement. And so I'd like to say hello and a big giant welcome to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. You all are not just viewers, but you are participants, because we feel like you should be heard too. In fact, we believe that this is one of the only shows that reads each and every comment of the viewers, because it's not like y'all just sitting there and watching Donovan and I go back and forth, which we can do with no problem, right? But it's not just about us, it's about you as well. And so also Marcus Guyton for everything that he does behind the scenes on Facebook and making the show go further. And so today we're going to talk about a tweet that I saw of Dr.Boyce Watkins. It kind of made me think about some things. And so I want to have you all's input before we get into that. Donovan, what say you?
Yes, it is Sunday, and that means it is March 20th, 2022, 3:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time where I'm at. 5:07 where Demetra's at. Hey, you guys, thank you guys for tuning in, doing all that great stuff. Quick question and reminder. How many of you guys got locked out of your Facebook account this week? Let us know in the comments and the thing. I got locked out. I can't access my Messenger. I can't act my Facebook account. I mean, people are still posting, but I can't get into it. So I might have to do another account. And you might, if you're one of those ones that got locked out, might have to do one as well. This is another way that they are trying to shut down the Black media and getting messages out across the United States. But do us a favor. You know, if you guys don't have anything to do, please like, share, and subscribe, and even become a member of the channel if you got a chance. And if you so like, please donate, because it does take a little time to put these topics and things together. Demetra is up late at night doing all her homework and stuff. So we're going to have a great topic today. We're talking about Dr. Watkins, and we're going to see what Demetra has to say about it. So let's get into it. Welcome.
Now, I did not call him that. Donovan did. I called him Dr. Boyce. That is his name. So let me get to you guys' comments before I get started. And I also like to say, for those of you guys on YouTube, you can't see the people's on Facebook comments and vice versa. So if you want to see the comments, you can go. YouTube is usually where most of the people are. So I just want to let you know that. So Moni, what is going on with you and Pioneer? And then Moni says, Demetra, I don't trust Dr. Boyce because he's a snake and a liar. Did you get my email? I did get your email. He says, I hope you and Donovan have enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day weekend. Lots of fun. Much Detroit love to you both. I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but I hope, if you did, you had a great day. And good afternoon to you as well, Pioneer. Thank you so much. And you also say this should be a good show as usual. Laugh out loud. Well, we hope so. And Jerome, how you doing? He said, hey, what that clown tweeted. Oh, Lord. Fonda, what's going on with you? Hello to you as well. Pioneer says, I hope it wasn't anything too silly. Dr. Boyce is my boy. He usually comes with some wisdom. Well, y'all gonna see in just a minute. And Keziah, how you doing? He says, shalom. Shalom to you as well. Pioneer says, one of these days, Marcus, quote unquote, is going to have to come on the show. You big up him so much. We got to meet the brother. He came on a couple times before, but yeah, sure. One day we will have him on here. And Bongani, how you doing? It says, greetings and salutations, folks. Yes, indeed. And Brother Samuel, so you said, and hello to you, says you did get locked out as well, but you had to do a security reset. Okay. And Miss Anita, how you doing? It says, greetings, y'all. What did the tweet say? I'm going to tell y'all. And Yahweh, how you doing? Shalom to you as well. In your world, you say this month they never suspended. Okay. And how you doing if I didn't already? And the Pioneer says, Donovan, when you get a chance, can you explain what happened to you the other day, getting hit in the head with a flagpole and chased out of the city hall by the police? We'll give him a chance to explain that. And Gerard, how you doing? He says, I'm black in the chat. Yes, indeed. Brother Sam, don't pay no attention to Donovan with that moist stuff. I didn't say that he did. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? He says, peace and love, fam. Get on other platform, guys. Sponsorship is real in the USA. Okay, well, we got to learn more about that. Pioneer says, Dr. Boyce drops some wisdom from time to time, though. Yes, he does. That is true. And Thunder says, what did Boyce do? Don, I'm glad you're okay from that flag and that guy. All right, so let's go ahead and lightweight. How you doing? It says, I see two beautiful people, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you for being here. All right. So earlier, it actually was maybe like 30 minutes ago, right? I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? Hi, Gloria and Ironworks. How you doing? I was like, what am I going to talk about today? I'm all tapped out, right? I was doing stories for the African Diaspora News Channel. I had to take a break because I'm like, I can't find anything really, worth talking about. And so I went on to Twitter just for a break, and this came up. He says, young women with no guidance think they want to date Future. And now Future is a rapper, and he, allegedly has a bunch of kids and a bunch of baby mamas and all that kind of stuff. And so he goes on to say, after he beats her ass and abandons her kids, they want Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson is supposed to be the opposite of Future. He's this upstanding guy. He's a football player. He's at the Denver Broncos. And he's got all this money. He treats Sierra. That is the glue that brings them two together. Sierra has a baby with Future, and she also was married and has children with Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson is supposed to be the good guy, the knight in shining armor type of guy, right? He's got all this money. He woos Sierra and, just drops down on one knee and, does all these things, right? So I guess the comparison is Future is not so good of a guy. Not my assessment. I'm just telling you what I see. And then Russell is the epitome of good guys. All right. So then it goes on to say all women need male mentorship so they don't ruin their kids' lives in the process. So for those of you guys who may not know who Dr. Boyce Watkins is, he is, I would say, a financial expert in the Black community, also is a social commentator and author and a whole host of other things. We see him a lot on social media, YouTube. As you see there, he's got a picture with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I can't remember exactly what event they were at when they took that picture, but he's also, usually he brings Dr. Claude Anderson onto his show, and they talk about things in the Black community. So Dr. Boyce Watkins, I would say, has an impressive resume, right? But sometimes he kind of gets off the rails and saying some things that kind of makes you raise an eyebrow. And so when I saw this tweet, immediately I thought, well, wow, you have all this admonishment for women, right? So you're talking about Future, and then he says after he beats her ass, and I'm assuming he's talking about a Future, type person, and then abandons her, they want Russell Wilson. So all women need male mentorship so they don't ruin their kids' lives in the process. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I guess that's true. But what about the men needing male mentorship so that they don't beat her ass and abandon the kids? You know what I mean? So it's like I said, sometimes he says things that are like, what was your board today? Because some of it just sounds like it just kind of maybe reached off and put this together. I don't know, right? But I see a lot of admonishment for women. And listen, I know there's a lot of admonishment for men too, but I'm just speaking about this tweet here. And wouldn't it have been more of a conversation if it would have been even, like men and women need male mentorship? Because I agree, women do need male mentorship. I have a great father who has mentored me, so I can totally agree with that. But on the other hand, I have a great father who mentored my brothers as well. So y'all tell me, am I reaching? Am I being too sensitive? Am I missing something? Donovan, what say you?
Well, you just got done talking to your dad just before you came on the show. What was one of the number one things he said when it comes to his sons? Where did I go wrong with these sons? Good mentorship with that and everything like that. No, Dr. Boyce Watkins definitely does give great advice at times, but sometimes it seems like he falls off the rails. Maybe he's something triggered in the day. But when it comes to financial advice, he's pretty sound in what he's talking about and group economics and, and speaking that stuff. He recently got married a couple months ago and stuff like that. So, to Alicia, Dr. Alicia Watkins, I guess now it's the correct way to talk about her. And, but yeah, everybody's talking about this me versus her ideology, and they just keep it going. Everybody's keeping it going. Men are talking about the women are talking about the men. Well, men have been said, as we've seen in the videos, we did a show on it, of these mothers back in the 1980s. That's almost, 40 years ago, saying black men ain't shit. I don't need no man. I can do all this. And it's failing. That ideology is failing. Black men leaving their families, not being men, not going into the jail system, taking the easy route, selling drugs and stuff like that. That ideology is failing. At the end of the day, I believe the narrative needs to change. Is we need each other, and we need to start hearing that from both sides. This divestment and stuff, black women are getting killed, so on and so forth. So we got to get back to we need each other, because guess what? If you guys like it or not, statistics show 70% of the black community, which is 15% approximately of the population of the United States, is failing.
All right, so we're going to see what you all say here. And Rain, love, how you doing? He says, when DMX died, Dr. Boyce tweeted, just say no. I was done with him after that. Yeah, that's very poor taste. You guys know DMX had issues with drugs. And so that's very horrible and a poor taste and bad timing, to say the least. So I agree with you on that. In fact, Not Feeling says censorship, not sponsorship. Okay. Okay. And then Sean, how you doing? And the Pioneer says, Donovan, okay, it seems as if the video you were doing cut off abruptly. I was concerned about you for a minute. I'm glad you were free and on the air now. And Jay Bubba, how you doing? You say, I agree with this tweet. Okay. Pioneer says, I think he's right. Women need mentors just like men need female mentors. Okay. And Donovan says, I tried to authenticate it, but it won't let me. So you're talking about the logging into Facebook. And Marty says, Donovan, I hope you get an Oriental cat with the big ears. They are so beautiful. Where's your green bear? I'm toasting. Beer. I'm toasting some to you and Demetra, as I always celebrate St. Patty's Day through April. Okay. The Pioneer says, I don't know about Russell Wilson, but I think he's right. That a woman needs male mentorship for balance, just like men need female mentorship for balance in their lives too. It's about balance. So I would agree with that. And Jerome says, ain't Boyce Watkins got kids out of wedlock, just got married? I don't know. I've heard. I believe he does have children outside of the one, outside of his marriage now. So, and Monet, how you doing? And Randy, what's going on with you and Rain? You say, ever since he got his new teeth, wow. Ever since he got his new teeth, he have been talking too much.
Were those new teeth like in the implants, or did he get the veneers?
I have no idea, but yeah. It's like, how you doing, Boyce's teeth? And the Pioneer says, a lot of black folks don't like Boyce Watkins because he's a Republican and he's a businessman who focuses a lot on capital and making money. They also like to accuse him of cheating people. Well, I don't have any information myself of whether it being true or not, but there are a lot of allegations out there about him not being honest in business. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that of Miss Michi X. She started off with Dr. Boyce Watkins on Fly Nubian Queen TV or something like that. And, she said that he pretty much stole her name, right? He went and got, you can go on GoDaddy or something like that and bought her name. But she ended up changing it to something else. But she did him one better and went and trademarked all of his stuff. So in order for him to use it, he's going to have to pay her. So I was like, wow. You're talking about...
Well, you learned a lot from him.
Well, yeah, I mean, so as far as it being accusations, yeah, we'll put it out there like that. But I've heard quite a few people, mention that maybe he's not so upstanding in business. So I don't know anything myself. And Jay Bobby says, well, it's hard to mentor the boys of a single mothers. Okay.
Amen, brother. Amen. I mean, not my baby. You guys seen I'm going to get you sucker when Jeanette Du Bois, every time he got in Jack Spade got in trouble, his mama showed up. No accountability. And that's why a lot of these young men, these new generation of young men, they have traits of women. They have no accountability for any of the actions that they do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to remember that stuff, but I'm gonna just kind of keep going. We say, well, it's hard to mentor the boys of single mothers. Then y'all always know what I'm gonna say. Where they daddies at? How you doing?
Run off. Y'all ran them off.
Now, listen, brother, I'm gonna say this to you too, okay? Any woman that's able to run you off from your kids, you ain't a man in the first place, because I'm not saying she should take you through hell and high water, but you should go through hell and high water to be with your kids, or even if it's to the point of putting a white man on her, like she put the white man on you.
Amen.
Amen. So I say he's right. The men that you are talking about are usually preferred by women. So you're talking about the futures, and you said who raises the abusive men? Well, I mean, that's a good question. That I would believe that their parents or whoever's their immediate circle of influence. How about that?
Big Mama using that old school discipline, putting hands on folks. So that's who's doing it.
I'm going to keep reading these comments. And Prime says, I don't agree with everything Dr. Boyce says. I definitely don't agree with a lot of his her political views. Okay. And Brother Sammy says, I read once where the word mentor, quote unquote, has a negative origin. If I remember correctly, it comes from an origin where European men took young men into their care that also entailed having relations with them, a European thing. I have heard that as well. Now, how true it is, I don't know. It might be. And Sean says, facts, United States government did a number on our people. You ain't lying. And Rain says, facts. And Monet, he says, I know I need a male influence in my life. Men and women do need that balance. Yeah, we do. I mean, it's just a fact, right? And Pioneer says, Donovan is correct. The majority of our community today is in dysfunctional position. A lot of our people are so dysfunctional that they don't even know what functionality is, even when it's pointed out. And that is true as well. And Moni says, Mr. Watkins is not in no position to talk because at the end of the day, it's been reported how he exploits Black people, have to jump on quite a few women that has been involved with I don't trust a liar. Okay, so you've heard some things as well. And Go Chi, I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says, what did Dr. Boyce say that was wrong? He goes in on men and the need for them to be good fathers all the time. Okay. And I will say that is true. I have seen him say that. But in relation to this tweet, I just kind of like, you know, for me and me being a woman, when I see that kind of stuff, I just think that is one-sided, right? I mean, you know, all women need male mentorship, which is true. But it's like when you say on the next sentence above that, after he beats her ass and he abandons the kids, they want Russell Simmons. But it's like, where is all of the admonishment, you know, for the men who were doing that kind of stuff, you know? So I'm not saying that he never admonishes men, but I'm speaking of this tweet specifically. And our Neba, I hope I said that right, says, how you doing? Says, Brother Watkins is a great asset to our rise. Okay, in fact, my feeling says, don't like Boyce too much. He is way too pro-cop. Oh, so is he? And Moni, he said, Donovan, you already have to be careful when dealing with the police, as you know. Is her all right attack on the innocent Black man and Black woman, which is a shame. I'm glad you're okay. I adore you. Okay. Hey, Al, how you doing? He says, how long will the black screen be up? Oh, y'all want me to take that down? Okay, got you. How about that? Pioneer. And you say a lot of our people are cheated, but a lot of our people are so stupid and miseducated that they don't know how to read or abide by contracts or business rules and think they're being cheated. Nah, you got to read the fine line, read the contract. And if you can't read the contract, go to a contract lawyer or somebody who is more versed at understanding contracts. I mean, most people, even people who have money and certain things like that, they hire contract lawyers because there's always that little something. Oh, I didn't see that, but it's in the contract though. So,
right, like a good example, like I'm in litigation right now, and I spent a whole bunch of money hiring attorneys and filing paper. Just to file the paperwork was a small fortune, right? And the thing is, by getting the attorney and getting the right people, I'm going to save money in the long term versus going in there, messing it up, trying to do it myself or going to cheap. So yeah, I mean, and especially when it comes to these contracts, you look at the artists and the athletes who lose so much money because they didn't read the fine print when you could have just gone and go ahead and paid that little, let's say $20,000 to get the contract lawyer to go over the thing fine combed versus, but then you hear the people losing 32 million stolen from them down the road, you know?
Absolutely. And Monet says, seems like nobody likes Boyce. Laugh out loud. He has been talked about so much. I don't follow or listen to him. To me, I don't think it's an issue of me not liking him or liking him. I think he offers a lot of valuable advice to the Black community. I just kind of got somewhat of a salty taste in my mouth about Dr. Boyce when he went after Lizzo as much as he did. Now, I want to preface it by saying this. I'm not saying I agree with what Lizzo does. I think she should put some clothes on. And I think that's true for any woman running around the planet naked or close to it, right? But I just didn't like how he bullied her. You know, it's one thing to kind of mention, oh, well, you know, maybe she shouldn't do this, but it was just on and on and on and bullied her. So I believe he got her attention and she was very, you know, bothered by that. And I'm like, well, what you're doing is not helpful. It's you're bullying her and that's not okay. And then try to dress it up into, you know, I'm trying to be helpful, but it's like you're not being helpful. You're bullying her. And I also had a problem with him being married to, I guess she's a psychologist, and she didn't seem like she had a problem with him doing that to Lizzo. So I didn't like that. Not to say that I like what she's doing, but I just didn't like that. All right. So, and Ridiculous Thoughts, how you doing? He says, wow, she did Sarai Lannister on Boyce. And well, who is that, by the way? And Thunder says, man.
Yeah, Cersei? Did it mean Cersei? Is that how you say it? Cersei?
Oh, I'm sorry. Cersei Lannister. Yeah, so sorry about that. Who is that, by the way? And Thunder says, man's mentorship is needed in the Black home. He doesn't need to be perfect. He needs to be a good man and a strong man. The son needs to see an example of what to be and the daughter of what to demand. I love that, and I totally agree with that. And Ironwork, you say Dr. Boyce has his set of standards. He has a good heart in him for our people. We need dialogue with him if we don't agree and see where we can agree and disagree. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying I think Dr. Boyce is a bad person, even though I've seen a lot of people, you know, say certain things, and I don't think anybody is perfect. I'm just talking about the tweet that he made, and in all fairness, Dr. Boyce Watkins talks about everybody under the sun. I mean, everybody, you know, and so I don't know. Anyway, let me get to this. But I agree. He has a lot of value to offer to the Black community. And Yahweh says Black men and women have to take accountability for their lives in order to have strong homes. Parents must be willing to teach appropriate behaviors to the little ones. This begins with a change in mindset in the Black society. So you are absolutely correct. And Jafia, how you doing? And I says the fathers are usually thugging where they were when, oh my God, when the women first chose them. Wow, well, you know what? You might be on to something. And Thunder says, CMB, we all we got. Yes, indeed. New Jack City reference there. And Marty says, Donovan, the Caucasian world broke up the beautiful Black family starting in the 50s. It got worse in the 60s and 70s. And what we have now is a disaster. We have to come together, love, support us.
Was it just the 50s or was it when they brought us here?
Correct. And Gloria says, say it, Demetra, I agree. Can't no woman run a father away from his child. Nah, I mean, I don't believe that, because I hear men say that a lot. Well, she pushed me away. The way she was behaving. Nah, put the white man on her like she put the white man on you. To take her ass to court and get some custody or whatever, right? And Arneva, you say Michi X is an agent. So I don't know. You know, I don't follow a lot of people in how can you say, our community with a lot of the podcast stuff. I just know of her. I remember when she first came on the scene, and I forget what it was she was talking about. I think it was Bill Cosby or something. And she was very vehement about sticking up for him, if I remember right. But if she's an agent or not, I really don't know. I wouldn't even have any insight to that at all. And Monet said, Michi says she has a documentary coming out about Dr. Watkins in the fall. See, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Here's my thing. Okay, if we have a disagreement with a person, why is it that in our community we just can't let stuff go and just go on about our separate ways? Demetra and I don't get along in regards to certain things, but we move, once that subject is over, we keep moving past that. But I just happen to notice certain groups of us can't let shit go.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem that I have within our community, which is why I don't really claim the conscious community. Not that I'm not conscious. I just don't claim it in the way that it's been presented now. There's a lot of infighting going on between this leader leader, that leader. This person wants to be well known for doing this. You got this section of Black Americans, and you got this section of Black Americans. It reminds me of the Dr. Seuss thing where I forget what they were called.
Yeah, you had the spot on this one, and one didn't have the spot.
It was the stars upon stars. Yeah. This one had 2 stars. That one had 3 stars. And it's like, oh my God, really? And Pioneer says, also, you can use the word Caucasian in the YouTube chat. Now, a few months ago, they were banning it and erasing posts with the word in there. Yeah, it seems like they've changed up a little bit. Why, I don't know. But still, proceed with caution. And Stan, how you doing? He says, having 2 daughters, I realize how patriarchal this society is. Being the first man in their lives, I treat them the way I want any man in their life to. I bring chivalry, but not male chauvinism. And so you have made an important part. As the first man in their life, they will more than likely expect to be treated by men by the way you treat them as their father. And I don't think a lot of fathers really realize that. The examples that you show your daughters, they're probably going to look for that in men. So be careful, right? And J. W says, we say, where's the daddy at? Future has 9 kids. What does that say about the other 8 women he knocked up? Our women keep sleeping with the same man, then want to ask where the daddy at? No, I mean, you make an excellent point. I never got that either. I say like, okay, yeah, you become the 2nd or 3rd baby mom. It's not too unusual, but the 4th, 5th, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, it's like, well, what about you becoming the 9th or the 8th or the 10th baby mama made you think that he wasn't going to do the same thing with you? Like, did you have the magical, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Right, or reverse it. Who's that idiot Tristan, the basketball player that just had a baby with the one chick? And this chick doesn't have a job or whatever, but she demands $40,000 a month in child support, $2,000 in dining expenses, and so on, so forth. So what I'm saying is I'm reversing it, saying that, like I said, it's on both sides. You got idiots on this side, and you got delusional people on this side. Yeah,
I get it. And yeah, I know you're talking about Tristan Thompson. He's, with Khloe Kardashian, and he's a serial cheater and all of that. And he, they say, I don't know if it's written in stone yet, but he's looking at paying the new baby mama $47,000 a month. He has to pay $1 million in her legal fees. And I'm like, good for him. You know why I say good for him is because you're out there pursuing raw fish. And then when you produce some little guppies, very expensive guppies, and then you want to be mad about but to your point, and to J. Bubba, your point about, women pursuing that, the women who are pursuing him, they know that's his MO, but they also know that they can get a bag out of him too. So I don't know. It is really crazy. And Arnibia says, no one likes Boyce. We conscious brothers love Boyce. I mean, I didn't say anybody didn't like him. I like Boyce. I just think,
I love his financial advice. I mean, he does make sense sometimes, and he does give us the tips ahead of time to let us know.
Yeah, I just didn't like him, going after Lizzo with such venom, to try to pass it off as I'm trying to help her. It's like, are you really though? And the Pioneer says, I was listening to a show the other day with a bunch of brothers talking business, and one of them busted out and claimed that contracts are evil and come from the devil. Yeah, and he's probably got, burnt for a whole lot of stuff in business because he didn't have a contract. Mr. Pirate Brain, how you doing? He says, Boyce Watkins' wife didn't marry him in college when he wanted her, but then played the cleanup man when she had her kids. Yeah, I mean, I've heard all that too. I mean, they're in love with each other, and sometimes things happen for people later in life rather than sooner. Maybe they wouldn't have stayed together if they got together when they were younger. I don't know. I'm not that deep off into what they're doing, right? And Thunder says men need to pick a woman who knows she's a woman and conducts herself like a woman and wants to be treated like a woman. Most importantly, she wants and needs a man and wants to be with a man who's a man. I love it. I wish I could just post that comment everywhere because it's absolutely true. I totally agree with you. And the Pioneer says, I like Boyce too. I wouldn't consider him a mentor of mine, but I think he's good. His good outweighs the bad. No, absolutely. I love the fact that He has given, not that Dr. Claude Anderson didn't have a platform, but he's brought him more to the forefront, bringing him on his shows and waking people up and educating people and really just reintroducing Dr. Claude Anderson to people who ordinarily would never have known about him, right? So I do love that. And Tiffany, how you doing? It says Michi is sketchy and uncouth. Well, I have to take y'all word for it. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about her. I've seen some things. I just personally try to not get involved in all of the dynamics of the Black YouTube stuff. I mean, because I see people fighting with everybody. I'm like, is that helpful to Black people that we are fighting with each other? And I'm not saying some of it is not warranted, but it just seems like it's constant. So it really makes you wonder, what is this really about? And Pioneer says, Dr. Umar Johnson and Boyce Watkins are against each other too. One of the things we as Black folks have to learn to do is how to still support the leaders of our community, even when they turn on each other. Yeah, absolutely. And then try to encourage them to knock it off. Because I think that's what good people should do, and say, hey, we are better together. Y'all, you have this set of information we need, and you have this set of information we need, but y'all arguing over silly stuff. And then other people who don't have the knowledge that they have, they get into the dog pile and it just blows all over the place, and it's a mess.
Yeah, many roads to the same destination, basically, is the theory.
Yes, indeed. Marcus, thank you so much. And if you guys are on YouTube and you are seeing this somewhere and you want us to read your comment, click on the link, and I would love to do that. And thank you so much, Marcus. And Rain says, I heard that he is a crook and everybody and their mama is saying it. Well, yeah. I don't have any personal intel on that, but that's what the word on the street is. And that's really far as I can go with it, because I don't have any personal experience with that at all.
Well, you know what's funny, real quick, so we got to keep up with the comments, is, okay, the biggest grift that has ever happened to the Black community happened with Black Lives Matter. Nobody's making a complaint about that. Where'd the money go? You know what I mean? So it's amazing.
It is one of the biggest grifts other than slavery. And that messy-ish, how you doing? He says, it can happen. My brother got full joint custody. Keep your receipts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So don't be talking about, oh, she won't let me and she just ran me away. Nah, brother. Tie her ass up in court too. She ain't the end all be all.
Right. Well, the good thing, brothers, as more and more women are entering the workforce, as what I think is ridiculous to even do that, they're making more money than us, and they're getting all these degrees and doing all that. The court system, the laws haven't changed. So as you see, look what happened to Mary J. Blige. Look what happened to that one fat chick. I mean, the laws are basically...
What fat chick?
What was that one chick? She looks like Lonnie Love, but she was married, and they had a surrogate son, a baby, and then the guy left her.
You talking about Sherry Shepherd?
Sherry Shepherd. You know, all these laws, they're there, and because they're not changing and they're not fair. I'm not saying the laws are right; they're not fair. Everybody is getting what's coming to them. So it is what it is. I hate what happened to Mary J. Blige, but that's what happens when the laws are not fair.
Ciela Trey, how you doing? Also known as Mr. Research TV. Glad to see you here. Pioneer says, I like both Michi X and Dr. Boyce, even though Michi hates Boyce. Laugh out loud. We as a people need to stop being so tribalistic and learn to take the good of all of our leaders instead of taking sides. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but like I said, I kind of view YouTube and certain other aspects of social media as gangs, right? It's like, we taking this side and we taking that side. It's like, grow up, really. And that messy issue, say, full joint legal, gotta ask by name. Absolutely. You gotta know your rights, but just be running around talking about, well, she won't let me, so I'm gonna come back in 18 years. That's not how that works.
Or I'm paying child support, she won't let me see my kids. Do you guys know, depending on what state you're in Georgia, that don't matter. If she has custody, you have to file for your rights as a father. So it doesn't matter. They can make you pay child support, and that woman has all the jurisdiction in the world. It doesn't matter that you're paying child support. So look at your state laws, or better yet, abstinence. Just don't get involved.
And Pioneer says, Brother Don, thank you. Why can't so many of our people just let Ish go? Too much pettiness pettiness and squabbling like the little children. It's a sign of immaturity, very much so. Deja, how you doing? Long time no see. Says way too much division. You guys are right. Yeah, I mean, we need to just knock it off. And Tips Tops, how are you? Says, I don't dislike Michi, just some of the people she follows like Tommy Sotomayor and Cynthia G.
Hey, don't be talking about my Bishop Tommy. Don't talk about Bishop Tommy. But no, real quick though. Deja, I met her her man and stuff. Young dude. Deja's a cougar now. The brother's real handsome and stuff like that. But
why you telling Deja business? I'm not a fan of Tommy or Cynthia G at all, and I don't follow them. I've seen a few things, but yeah, they are very two divisive individuals from my understanding. And that messy is, she says, most of the conscious quote unquote community is grifting ex-cons trying to get laid, or do you mean paid, or both? I can see why you would say that. And Thunder says, I'll keep it simple. Black men, if we choose wisely, there'll be few problems. If she's not wife material and you don't want a family, don't lay down with her. Period. End of discussion. You could cut it off at the source, but not engaging. And Jay Brown, how you doing? It says, Michi X is associated with Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor is the demon who threw a death party for Kanika Jenkins. Yeah, he's not a good dude. I had to unbrainwash Donovan from following Tommy Sotomayor. I think he's doing all right now.
I followed Tommy for the comedy aspect of it because, it was funny to me. I'm talking about in the early days. So
you should put the recovering Tommy Sotomayor protege. How about that? And hey,
well, he's doing OnlyFans now. So guess what? Everything paid off for him.
People paying for him to watch that. Donovan, you done been over there seeing what Tommy's over there doing. What's he over there doing?
You told me he was doing OnlyFans.
Hey, Sunlight, how you doing? And Don, how you doing? I have not forgot the moderator thing. I swear I'm going to get the moderator thing going up. I low-key did kind of forget it until now, though, I'm going to be honest with you. Anyway, he says, hey, Demetri and Donovan. And Kevin, how you doing? Says, shalom, Demetri and Donovan. And Thunder says, and if you just have to remember, Agnes and Gertrude would never be able to put you on child support. Yeah, their child rearing days are gone, okay? April, how you doing? Long time no see. And guppies, Deja. I'm just saying, you have to pursue a raw fish. And Stan, you say Dr. Boyce and Dr. Umar commonly have a thing about women that rubs me the wrong way. They're extremely judgmental with women as opposed to men. It's hard to follow even though they provide wisdom. And see, and I'm glad that you picked up what I was putting down. I'm not saying they never admonish black men, but they're and I would throw Dr. Umar in there as well. Their views on black women is just so it's almost like kind of one-sided. If y'all would just choose better type of thing. And, you need mentors. It's like we all need mentors, right? Pioneer says, what makes it even worse? A lot of these rich black male athletes paying all this money in child support are paying it to non-black women, millions of dollars being drained from the community. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's their choice, though.
Well, you got to think about it like this too, Pioneer. I mean, thousands of millions of dollars would be paid in weaves and stuff like that. So you might as well just throw it out the window.
Now, see, this is another example how you would blame the black.
The thing about Dr. Watson is because he's a black man, it's kind of easier to appeal to other younger black people because, we see one of our own. And, because of him, a lot of young people started getting into stocks that would probably never have done it, versus another group of people giving the same exact advice.
Right. Mr. Piebrain says, how are you and Donovan doing? I'm doing well. If y'all can't already tell, I got a little cold, I guess. I didn't even realize I had it until I think it was yesterday morning. I was like, oh, I might be sick.
Cold and 80-degree humid weather.
Just odd, right? And that messy issue, say, we speak on Boyce's romantic situation because it speaks, it speaks to self-respect for black men. He's trying to act like he's an expert in relationships too. And so I think really that's the issue is so are you a financial guru or are you a relationship expert, or are you're targeting Lizzo because she's out of shape and she's gonna die soon? I mean, he said all those type of things. So it's like, what is it really, right? So I mean, I can see that. And Tips Hobbs, you say no, not healthy. And Letitia, you say thanks for clearing things up going on the YouTube streets. Yeah, it's a lot, right? It's a lot of nonsense going on. So I try not to get involved in a lot of it. Pioneer says, you ask a great question, Queen. Why are so many so-called pro-black people fighting and squabbling with each other? It sounds like a fight of egos more than actual substance. And that's usually what it is in our community. Somebody got their, ego bigger than this person, or well, I was on the scene first and I was saying this first. And I say to somebody who shall remain nameless, I say, is there really an original thought? Did you really come up with that, or did you say it a different way that people can understand, right? You got people talking about, they stealing from me.
Better yet, get your hand out of my pocket, nigga. Get your hand out of my pocket.
Right. And Betty Lockett, how you doing? You said, united we stand, divided we fall. As wisdom has told us, I will keep hope alive that even if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, we achieve our goal of the advancement of our people in a positive way. Yes, indeed. I love that. And Deja says, right. Where did the money go? Black Lives Matter. Yeah, and where did Black Lives Matter go? And Easy, thank you so much for becoming a member. I love and appreciate you. And the Pioneer says, if you don't give a nigga everything he wants for free, he'll call you a crook and a con man. A nigga wants something for nothing.
You know what? I have to agree with the Pioneer right there, because that's wisdom speaking. Because how many of us know every time you go somewhere, the brother or the sister always wants to hook up. Always wants to hook up. Always.
Right. And Arneva, you say those that say he's a crook are lazy and just don't want to take responsibility for their own destiny. I mean, that may be true. Like I said, I personally don't have any inside information as to if he's a crook or not. I mean, people could say what they want, but is it true? And I'm not saying it's not. I just personally don't know. So I don't like to really speak on things that I have no firsthand experience with. And somebody says Sherry Shepherd is not fat anymore. Yeah, Donovan. That's why I was like, fat? No, who? What?
Well, what's the definition of fat? I mean, I still see that skin.
Pretty hot and tempting.
And the skin off the arms and stuff. That's my definition of fat. I'm just saying. I mean, she got done wrong in the court system, and the bottom line is we've got to change the law so that it's fair. But women come to the other women's defense when, a good example. Everybody loves Mary J. Blige. A lot of people love Mary J. Blige, right? Great. The minute she gets roasted over the coals, oh, how could they do that? Oh, that's not right. Mary J. Blige, she shouldn't be paying Kendu Isaac. They don't have no kids together. All that good stuff, right? But men have been saying this for years, and we hear crickets.
I mean, I don't think nobody's disagreeing with that. I think Sunlight is taking issue with you calling the lady fat instead of just trying to find
That's all I remember. I'm not a Sherry Shepherd fan. I don't even know what shows she's ever been on. I just remember when she was going through the child support system, because I am a father's rights advocate.
Hey, Brother Jonah, how you doing? It says, peace, Queen, Brother Donovan and fam. And Easy says, hello, D, Donovan and family. Hello to you as well. And Jacqueline, how you doing? You say, exactly. And Deja says, he's 2.5 years younger. Yes, he is handsome, but I love his mindset.
Yeah, he looks young, though. I mean, he looks really good for his age. I mean.
And who is this again?
This is her man. She's been with this guy for a while. Yeah. It was the first time I was at Home Depot the other day. I'm sorry.
Making it seem like he was 20 years younger.
No. I was at Lowe's the other day, because I'm doing that bathroom retrofit, and I met him for the first time. So, I'm shocked. Like, I made a joke to her, and I said, "Oh, this is your oldest." That's how young the guy looks.
Deja, did you take a paint can immediately and bust Donovan in his head? Tell me you did. Just even if you didn't, I wanted his satisfaction if you did that. And I says, yeah, go tell Pookie not to engage. Yeah, I mean, I think it should go both ways. And that messy issue says, got to be a little paint trading with our community